All right, welcome to Talking Investing. I am Tom, and as always, this is not financial advice. Today, I want to go through Bitcoin and the Bitcoin miners, do our daily update. We talk about Bitcoin and the miners all the time on this channel, so if that is content you're interested in, please remember to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Also, if everybody could do me a big favor and smash the like button, it helps the channel out a lot and it helps get this video out to more people. All right, let's talk about Bitcoin and the miners. Today was actually a pretty good day. Bitcoin was down, and I'm going to show you that on the chart from yesterday's close until today's close. However, the Bitcoin miners did just fine. So I want to look at the Bitcoin miners and then we'll look at the charts. And I also want to look at all the technicals we've been looking at because I want to see if we're still on track here to maybe get some more legs out of this bull run that we're in the middle of. So let's dig in and take a look. Okay, you're going to see there's more green here than red for sure. Most of the things that were red were only a little bit red. CleanSpark was down just under 1%. Core Scientific was down just under 1%. DigiHost was down 3%. Stronghold was down 7%, but it was actually down over 20% early in the morning, so it did rally throughout the day. On the flip side, there was a bunch of green. Marathon and Riot were both up over 8%, so those are two of the big dogs in this space, and they have been on a run. We're going to take a look at those charts a little later. Hut 8 has been on a nice run as well. It was up 5.6% today, and then most of the rest of the other ones were up 1 or 2 or 3%, so I'll give you a second to look at the board and find any miners you might be interested in, but it was a mix of red and green. But considering the fact that Bitcoin was down on the day today, this was actually very strong performance from the Bitcoin miners, and it seems like for now they seem to be following along with the NASDAQ a little bit more closely than they are necessarily with Bitcoin. But obviously both of those things have a major effect on their price. Okay, so here's Bitcoin on the 15-minute time frame. As always, there is an orange line right here. This is where the US equity markets closed yesterday. So Bitcoin was at 23,665 when the markets closed yesterday. Then, as I was making my video yesterday, Elon Musk was telling the world that Tesla had sold almost $1 billion worth of Bitcoin throughout the second quarter of 2022. So that is what this big red candle was right here, this $700 candle that at the time that I was making, I did not know that that had happened yet. So that is the excuse for that. However, I will say, I think that it is very, very impressive, the price action that Bitcoin has had, because when Elon Musk and Tesla make a big move like that, and it's not so much that they sold everything yesterday, because they didn't, of course, they've sold it over the last several months, which could be a part of the reason we've had so much downward pressure, but it's more so when they make these kind of statements, people tend to panic. If Elon Musk is selling, and you know, through Tesla, that's essentially Elon Musk selling, people panic, and they have followed his move in the past, and this has resulted in massive shifts to both the downside and to the upside. It was actually Elon Musk that initially got this engine started and got Bitcoin over $40,000 a year and a half ago. And again, so I guess my point, I don't want to belabor it, but it looks like Bitcoin is holding up a lot stronger right now. I think that shows some maturity in Bitcoin. You know, it doesn't have these $5,000 panic attacks when Elon Musk speaks. So that, I think, is a good thing. After that initial knee-jerk reaction, we kind of got right back up to where we closed, and we've been trading underneath that ever since. Sometime early this morning, we hit a bottom here at this green line at 22,489, so just under 22,500. So we're going to look at a couple of different lines, a couple of lines that we were hoping to hold. We did go below on the day today, so today was a little more of a mixed bag. So we got to look at everything, and you guys can decide whether you think the bull run is still on or not. So you can see we closed at about 23,000, so we closed yesterday at about 23,665, so we were down, you know, $600 or $650 on the day, but the Bitcoin miners were up, and you can see the momentum for the last 6 or 8 hours has been in the upward direction, so we will see if that continues. Okay, Bitcoin on the 4-hour time frame, you'll see we're still basically trading inside of this channel. It looked like maybe we were gonna step out of this channel here on this 4-hour candle. We did candle wick down below, and I need to extend these lines. But we did close this 4-hour candle above that, and then the purple line was one of our objectives yesterday. The purple line just under 23,000. That dates back to June 15th, so that's well over a month now. So we had not been above that. We finally did cross that. We were hoping to hold it. We did have a 4-hour candle open and close beneath that line, so that was a little bit of a potential bearish signal. However, the very next candle ran right up back above that line. So if we see them continue to close above this line, then I'm not too worried about one 4-hour candle. But this does leave us once again a little bit more on the fence. So 2 days ago, everything was looking exactly right. All the things we wanted to have happen were happening. Yesterday was more of the same, but to a lesser extent. And now today is a little bit more of a mixed bag. So I will tell you, I think by the time we're done, I think we still have some legs left in this relief rally. But let's look at the rest of the indicators, and obviously you guys can decide for yourself. Okay, so this is the RSI on the 4-hour time frame, and you'll see we've been peaking. We've gotten into overbought territory twice now. However, we continue to stay above 50, which is neutral. So we've bounced off of this twice as well. So hopefully, we continue to bounce in this range, all the while Bitcoin continues to have higher highs and higher lows and continues in this upward channel. So right now, I would say, you know, all things considered, this is probably looking good still, the 4-hour RSI. And you'll see the 4-hour histogram. We already had a bearish crossover today. We had all this downward pressure. We're pretty much done with that. So you'll see down here on the MACD that we've already had a bearish crossover, and that was this downward pressure right here. So it looks like we have turned the corner and we're moving back around. So there's the potential, just like the RSI, these two seem to be setting up maybe for a nice little run again. Okay, next, very important. This is the Bitcoin 200-week moving average. I've been talking about this for months. We had this gigantic period right here of over a month where we were below the 200-week moving average. That is the longest streak in the history of Bitcoin by far. We were hoping and talking and predicting that maybe we would take a run at this and see if we could reestablish this as support. So 2 days ago, we did have a green candle that closed below this. Yesterday, we opened and closed below this line. Today, it looks like we're set to open and close below this line. However, once again, we did candle wick down below the 200-week moving average. So we are still interacting with this. We are not in the clear, but the more of these candles that open and close above that line, the better off we are. So I think we did kind of the bare minimum here on this one too. So this is still leaning bullish in my opinion. Quick look at the fear and greed index. We're now at 34 in fear. We spent over 2 months in extreme fear, the longest time we've ever had an extreme fear. That was a record for the fear and greed index. And again, this index is only 4.5 years old. So, you know, take that into consideration. But we've never had a stretch like that. And now we have clearly moved out of this. And we have not just moved out of it a little. We had spent several days down at 6 on this index. So to move from 6 to 10 to 15 to 20, now we're at 34. This has made massive progress. Okay, last one I'm gonna look at. This is the RSI on the 1-day time frame. So you'll see we had this yellow arrow that we were following, and that followed along with last month's activity. If I zoom out, you'll see that is just a carbon copy of this activity. Last month, we got rejected at 50, which is around neutral on the RSI, on the daily RSI. So last month, we made all this run up, and really this amounted to no upward movement in Bitcoin. We failed at 50, we got rejected, and we reset all the way down to oversold. This time, however, you will see that we are now in a more extended, this length of this arrow we've already passed, so this is already a longer run up, but much more importantly, we have crossed 50, which is neutral, and we have always said on this channel that good things happen over 50 on the daily RSI for Bitcoin. This is where Bitcoin makes most of its runs. So we had a day where we closed at 56. We had a day where we closed at 61. Yesterday we were at 60. And today it looks like we're still right around 60 or 61. So this is a nice run. This looks like a little bit of consolidation, but to me still, it looks like if I had to pick, everything still seems to be leaning in the direction that this relief rally is not yet over. So again, this is not financial advice. I can't tell you whether it is or it isn't or what Bitcoin's gonna do tonight, so you guys know that. But everything that I'm looking at is showing that it looks like there's still room to run to the upside. So I do have 2 price targets. The first one's here at about 25,300. So we did get up yesterday. We got to 24,200. So we're currently at about 23,200. So that would be about $2,000 to the upside. So that's the first price target. I think we really have room to run up to that. Then we're going to have to see what's going on when we get there, because there's the potential for this to get back up to this line at 28,800, and that is a super significant line. That was the Bitcoin low of the year for the year 2021, so that was a last year. So that is now a 20-month low prior to this recent run where we went underneath it. So if we could go back and start to test that line, that would mean that this relief rally was substantial. So I'm less confident about this one, but we'll see. First, we want to see if we can get to this 25,300. So I'll be looking for similar things. Let's stay above the 200-week moving average. Let's keep having the RSI move in the right direction. Let's keep having the fear and greed index move in the right direction. And I just want to take a look at two charts real quick. Okay, this is Riot on the daily time frame, and I want to take a look at this because Riot, from its low of where it closed just over 2 weeks ago, so Riot is up now 88%. So that is a massive run up that Riot has had. So if I switch over to Marathon, you'll see that's had even a bigger run up. That's up about 156% from July 5th until now. So again, that's just a little bit over 2 weeks ago. So Riot and Marathon have really had massive runs. Having said that, they are still both so far down from even their highs in April. And I do think even despite these gigantic run-ups, there is still room for these guys to run. However, I know a lot of people are choosing to take profits, and up 156% in 2 weeks, I would not blame anybody for some profit taking. One more I want to look at is Bitfarms, because for some reason, Bitfarms seems to be stuck. We've talked about this for a few days. Bitfarms closed today at exactly $1.50. So that is a line that I've had on here for a while. It just seems like this is an absolute brick wall for Bitfarms. If Bitfarms could break through this line, I feel like it would run right up to this purple line here at $2. So there's very little to fill in the gap here, so I am waiting for this breakout. Obviously, we would need Bitcoin to keep its relief rally going in order to see that, and, probably we would need the NASDAQ to stay somewhat healthy in the short term, but my super short-term price target for Bitfarms is $2. Now, again, this is not financial advice. Please don't, you guys need to have your own price targets. I just feel like we see such a clear line here that we keep pushing and pushing on that I feel like it's going to break through. So that's how I'm playing this, but you guys need to decide how you want to play this, whether or not you want to invest in Bitfarms. So just to close out on the 15-minute time frame, we still seem to be in this upward direction for the last, 8 hours. We're at about $23,220 right now. So we'll have to see how we do overnight. Let's see if we can get back above where we were at yesterday's close. That was 23,600. And maybe we can make a run at 25,000. So that's all I got for you today on Bitcoin and the Bitcoin miners. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.